Welcome to the second video in the training series devoted to sealing record sets using the AES Board Rule option for sealing cover pages. This video will concentrate on the review of the AES Board Rules themselves so that professional engineers are familiar with what the requirements are according to the board rules. So the AES Board Rules carry the effect of law, and it actually is the Colorado Code of Regulations that applies to the particular board rules for architects, engineers, and surveyors, hence the term AES Board Rules. It isn't CDOT that controls this, it's the Board of Professional Licensure that's applicable to architects, engineers, and surveyors. So when I use the term AES Board Rules, it's this document I'm referring to. It's 55 pages long. This is the current document, and within the video training and the resources tab, you'll actually see a link. I think that was mentioned in the overview video too. If you want to have your own copy, you should have one of the AES Board Rules, because they cover the conditions under which you may or may not use your seal, and when you have to, and the conditions of using it. So I'm going to start out, and we're only going to cover about 4 or 5 items on 5 pages, but they're critically important for you to understand. Number one, and this is something maybe not everyone is aware of, and I'll just read it and then we'll talk about that for a minute. All persons licensed under Title 12, Article 120, Parts 1, 2, and 3 of the Colorado Revised Statutes are charged with having knowledge of the existence of these rules and shall be deemed to be familiar with their provisions and to understand them. So why do they say that? Well, it's basically because ignorance is no excuse. I've been fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to sit in the beginning of a couple of complaints that were filed against surveyors and one for an engineer who was actually seeking disciplinary action because of violation of these rules. I found in dealing with the AES board, there's just not a lot of humor in that board. They really expect the rules to be met, which is why they're very carefully written. So you're charged with knowing that, which is what's in these rules, which is the reason I wanted to go over these new requirements. There aren't many, but if you want to use the AES Board Rule option for sealing only cover pages and not every page, you have to be familiar with this so that you know what you're doing is correct. Basic stuff, but it needs to be gone over so that we're all on the same page. So what's underlined in red is very significant. What's in yellow obviously applies to these rules. I'll read one and then we'll discuss them. Electronic signature. An electronic signature is a digital authentication process attached to or logically associated with an electronic document and shall carry the same weight, authority, and effects as a manual signature. That's actually taken, that language I think is verbatim from a law that was passed sometime around maybe 2012 that allowed for electronic signatures in general. The electronic signature, which can be generated by using either public key infrastructure or signature dynamics technology, must be as follows. So public key infrastructure and signature dynamics technology it's very important to know the difference. You don't need to remember it, but you need to follow the rules depending on what is required. We'll get into that in a moment. But regardless of which electronic verification system you would use, those 4 items below it must be all accounted for. So in your case, we're talking about seals, architects, engineers, and surveyors. And I understand landscape professionals also have a seal 2, which is required, but landscape is not covered currently in the AES Board Rules. Must be unique to the person using it. That's pretty obvious, but it's there. Must be capable of verification. If you have a seal on a drawing, an electronic file, how do you verify it? Well, there's a couple of ways. One is if it's done correctly and you mouse over the signature or the seal, it will light up with a little hand and it will actually take you to a secure website in the cloud, which will verify that signature and the document it's part of. If there isn't an audit trail and the document's not secured, it's simply maybe a very nice, clear image, you can't verify it. I mean, you could literally hand me your seal. I could use your electronic seal on a document, scan it and make a PDF of it. And that's not valid because we can't verify who actually applied that seal. Number 3, under the sole control of the person using it. That's pretty obvious, but you're charged with being in control of your seal and that no one else uses it, has access to it, can copy it, or anything else. What helps you do that, in fact ensures it, is the software that you use when you use your seal. So many of these things are taken care of for you. The board simply is outlining what must be done. And these are pretty universal items 1 through 4. You'll find it in most, pretty much in this format with many DOTs that allow electronic signatures. And the last one, link to a document in such a manner that the electronic signature is invalidated if any data in the document are changed. That's the primary reason for the issue with making a mistake when you have to seal every page of a record set and you're not using this option, which we can do now. You make a single mistake, the reason you can't change it isn't because the software isn't capable of it, but all of a sudden your authentication and verification that the document and all signatures are valid and that nothing has changed, not a dot, not a period, not a space, nothing, is that it cannot be allowed. So once you issue a document, it's got to be right, because if there is any changes needed, you start over again, basically because of item number 4. So public key infrastructure, there's the definition of it. It's probably the oldest of all the authenticating systems that are used. And it basically is a technology for authenticating users and devices in the digital world where one or more trusted parties digitally sign documents certifying that a particular cryptographic key belongs to a particular user or device. The bottom line is the key can be used to identify the user in digital networks. It's old, so all the systems use it, but there are some shortcomings, which we're not going to get into. It's pretty far into the weeds, but there are some shortcomings to using only public key infrastructure as the technology for authenticating users and the devices they use. So that's public key. Something that is, it's not necessarily new, but it's not really as old as public key infrastructure. I think it was probably the first cryptography capability that came along. Signature dynamics technology. What is that? It's a commercial e-signature software application solely dedicated to the secure routing, authentication, and verification of electronic signatures, including an audit trail, which functions to dynamically capture all signature events throughout the e-signature process. What that really comes down to is the entire document throughout the sealing process, whether 1 or 2 people seal it or sign it if it's something other than a plan set. It's routing, everything is in a container. And all of the signature events, when you got it, when you signed it, when you opened the document, when it went to the next person, everything is recorded in an audit trail. So this is the reason, for instance, you can't use, if you want to use the cover pages, you couldn't use Bluebeam to sign it, because Bluebeam does not meet that requirement for signature dynamics technology. It does use PKI, but the limitations of PKI are very limited in terms of controlling an entire document workflow. And the note on the left, just what it says. In the case of CDOT, Adobe Sign shall be used to meet this requirement. Why? Because it meets them all. It's got an audit trail. It's totally secure. It uses an encryption technology that cryptologists refer to as SHA, or SHA, and that's a secure hash algorithm, which really, well, what that does is it reduces a document to a mathematical number. That's really what it does. It first came out, I think, was issued by the Department of Defense, and it's extremely secure. It's virtually impossible to break that because the authentication is something like 50 characters long. You'll see one occasionally when you mouse over a signature and it takes you to the website to verify it. It's a big, long number. Just suffice it to say that it makes the document secure. So we use Adobe Sign, nothing else, when it comes to sealing record sets. For more than that reason, but that's one of the big reasons. This is a point of confusion which I see sometimes. People don't realize it's confusing, but they put the wrong thing down when they use their seal, so it's worth it to go over it. Notice the title says sealing and signing for entire projects. So think of a plan set. The application of the licensee's seal, signature, and date shall constitute certification that the work, what work? The entire project was done by the licensee under the licensee's sole charge, unless limitation of responsibility is defined and expressly stated on the project documents. So you have a plan set, and there's 2 or 3 engineers that seal it, and nobody puts down a limitation of scope. Guess what? All of them, by this definition, are accepting responsibility for the entire plan set, which I don't think would be their intent. So unless you are the only engineer who seals a plan set, which we have that happen, you know, if we have a chip seal, no structure work, all the work's inside the right of way, everything standard, basic design or an overlay, that probably would be a single engineer design the project and would sign all the pages or use the summary seal and seal the cover pages. But in that case, wouldn't be required to state the scope of limitation of his authority because he or she is assuming responsibility for the entire project. But if that's not the case, you do have to put down a scope limitation. I'll tell you how important this is. You'll see this again, the same statement in a few moments, written another way to kind of make it stick. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So this is the beginning of the new part that applies to using cover pages. Most of what you see in front of you was not on this page prior to the approval in August of 2020 for the use of cover pages instead of sealing every page. A manual or electronic seal must be applied to either the final reproducible, the final reproduction, the final electronic record document, that's what we're talking about, or record set of all of the following. It used to say each sheet of engineering drawings. There was no or. Now there is an or. That's the big one. An electronic seal on the cover page or pages of a set of drawings. That's the authority you have to use it. The cover pages shall contain the identical sheet border, title block, and project title as the remaining pages of the set of drawings. This is precisely why you can't use only the cover pages as much as you would like to because it cuts down the time so much on an existing plan set where the title page and the borders, the seed files, basically DGN seed files, would not match the cover page. They would be different. They would not meet the requirements. When opting to seal only the cover pages of a planned set of drawings, a notation shall be included in the title block of every page, noting that all seals for the set of drawings are applied to the cover pages. So that's a requirement that we've placed in the DGN seed files, the new ones, for cover pages. It's over on the lower left, and I think I pointed it out in the overview video number 1 where that was. It's that statement. All cover pages in the set of drawings must be numbered, including the cover pages. It doesn't say how, it says they need to be. So the cover pages are numbered page 1 if you need a single cover page, which covers 16 seals and limitations of scope of authority text boxes or less. Or a 2-page one would be numbered page 1 and 2, and obviously a 3-page cover page set would be pages 1, 2, and 3. So what you normally regard as page 1 now, which is the title page for a plan set, would either be page 2, page 3, or page 4 after the cover pages. So it's important to realize the numbering has to be done so that, with acknowledging that the cover pages are the beginning page numbers. Electronic seals affixed to the cover pages of the set of drawings must adhere to all requirements of the board rules, including a statement of the scope of work, if relevant, page numbers associated with scope. So it doesn't specifically say you must cite page numbers, but if there were litigation involved and the plan set were in a court of law, it helps to have a very clear definition of exactly what you're sealing. You can state your discipline and say, you know, I'm responsible for civil work. Well, that's great. I think you can get by with that because it doesn't say you must. It says if relevant. By relevant, it means if it's appropriate in your judgment, you probably ought to include the page numbers. D, if electronically sealing on the cover pages, signature dynamics technology shall be used. All right. Remember we looked at the definition of signature dynamics technology? That's right here. That's at the bottom. That's what we talked about. So it says if you use the cover pages, this is the definition, this is what you have to use. Adobe Sign is not the only e-signature application that will do this, but it, among others, handles larger plan sets, and there's a few other reasons that Adobe Sign was chosen. It handles larger plan sets than most commercial e-signature software applications. It also has a much higher page limit. I think it's 999 pages. Other applications are typically about 200. So, but this is the big one right here. Okay, on to the last page. Item 3 above, signature and date required. The manual or electronic signature of licensee and date of signature shall be affixed to the document. Well, that's been there for years and years. Here's the big one that I see people miss a lot. The signature of the licensee and date of signature shall appear through the seal. Doesn't mean next to it. Doesn't mean close. It says through the seal. And part of the reason is because they want the integration of the electronic signature image and the electronic image of the seal and the date as one file, which really is an electronic representation of how it's done manually. Manually, you place your wet stamp down there, you sign on top of the seal, and you date on top of the seal. So this is a carryover of that methodology of security, right? Because you signed on top of your seal. They want the same thing done electronically, which is why one of the early videos in the initial training shows you how to take an electronic seal image and add your image of add an image of your signature to that seal. Because in order to use this technology, you need a single file. You can't take your signature during the sealing process and put it on top of the seal. It's got to be one image. There's 5 again. I told you you'd see this again. Limiting scope of responsibility. When a licensee signs and seals a document, the licensee is responsible for the entire document unless the licensee limits the seal to 1 or more disciplines. So that's the second time that's been written slightly different, but it basically says if you don't limit it, you're accepting responsibility for the entire design of the project, which I don't think any of us would want to do if we were inadvertently signing for a discipline that was not part of what we were licensed for. So that's kind of an important image. I see that happen a lot where I'll look at a plan set and it's be like there's half dozen signatures or more, no scope limitation at all. It's like, well, that obviously doesn't work. You know, it works until there's legal action that involves a plan set. Then all of a sudden you're in a really gray area, which none of us want to be in. So it's simple, it's easy to do. And you'll see in the templates that have been created in Adobe Sign, like for the page 1 cover page, it has a place for 16 seals. And right next to each one of those 16 seals is a text box, which literally says something like the scope of my authority with respect to these plans is limited to, with a colon, and then you type in what is it? Selection of plans and specs, hydraulics design, pages 5 through 7, whatever it is. That protects you. So it's a small thing to ask. It is required, and you do need to do it. So I believe that covers the review of what you need to be aware of when using the option to seal cover pages. We've been communicating with the CAD team and the regions, And the reaction we're getting to using this new option, although it is an option, is why would anybody want to seal every page when in fact they can seal a cover page? So what's really happening is the seed files are being designed so that you can use them on all projects, whether it's a smaller project that's maybe 50 megabytes and has maybe 75 pages, or a monster that's a gigabyte in size and is 2,000 pages. It's just very, very efficient. You'll see that later on in one of the other 2 or 3 videos that shows you how to do it, how fast and efficient it is to set up and route cover pages as opposed to sealing every page. One other thing of note, I'll mention it here and I'll mention it in another video later on. When we make plan sets, we incorporate typically the right-of-way documents if they're required. And because right-of-way documents have to be filed with local government agencies, they have to be sealed typically before the engineering design is complete, because you can't design the project if you're outside the right-of-way and don't have a right-of-way. So we go get a temporary easement or a permanent easement, and by the time we start designing the plans, the right-of-way is done. So why do I say that? Well, when you incorporate the right-of-way plans, right-of-way and survey plans, they will probably be sealed on every page. That's okay, because you can do that. They will not be able to sign this cover page, obviously, because they had to seal the document and submit it to local government agencies, courthouses and whatnot, long before the plan was designed. Same with the M&S standards. M&S standards are referenced in the standard for road and bridge construction as part of the contract. So, and the original ones are sealed. However, anytime an M&S standard changes from the standard that applies to this particular project you're working on, that will be required to be sealed. They're usually sealed in advance also. Typically they're 1 or 2 pages. So when you get your record set, and if an M&S standard had changed, you should see the M&S standard with a seal on it, and the right-of-way documents with a seal on it. So really what we're talking about is probably 80 to 90% of the plan set, which is the engineering portion of the plan set, which needs seals, and all those engineers would seal on the cover page.